Hey, how's it going, everyone? It is Draco. Mandolorian. Quite love this series. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars and everything. And we got the final episode of Season 2. So I wanted to talk about the season as a whole and where we could go in the future. So, spoilers for Mandalorian Season 2 and potentially onward. So first off, on a whole, I quite enjoyed this season compared to season 1. Season 1, for me, I liked 90% of it. Some parts of it were like a tad bit boring for me, or they dragged on a little bit too long. For season 2, they definitely knew what they were more, because season 1 was more or less, we're still figuring out who we are, but season 2 they definitely figured it out, and every episode was really solid. Standouts for me for this season were Ahsoka showing up. I quite liked her. She was kind of a douche to Mando in the sense of she wouldn't help train the kid at all. She just was like, yeah, I'm gonna help you. Yep, I'm gonna do this deal with you. But, psych, I got him. So her not helping out Mando was kind of douchey. I mean, she's not entirely a Jedi anymore, but she could at least help him out. I mean, I get she didn't want to help him just because she previously saw Anakin, and she saw too much of Anakin within Grogu. But my main highlight was my boy Boba showing back up. Now, I am a little bummed we didn't get a reason as to how Boba escaped the Sarlacc pit, but that could maybe be coming with the Book of Boba Fett series coming out here. But Boba, oh my goodness, he showed why he was a fearsome bounty hunter, man. They wanted to give Boba that redemption, and they gave it to him. That rusty armor, his really beat up version armor, I was like, you know, it looks cool, and it's still, Boba, and it was cool with him putting it back on. But when he cleaned that up, it's like, dang, boy, you look nice. You look nice, man. So I was very excited to see Boba back, and they did a lot of callbacks with the prequels for him, even acknowledging that he is a clone and stuff. And I just wanted more Boba, man. I needed to see more Boba fights. So I'm happy he's going to get his own thing. I really do hope he shows up in Mando Season 3. He very well could, because he kind of is like buddy with freaking Mando. So could he call him up on like, hey, yo, Boba, I got a job. You wanna go take a guy out? We'll split the credits. If they become like freaking bros, that'd be awesome. So, honestly, we really didn't get much Moff Gideon in the whole season, which I was actually kind of shocked on. So yeah, obviously the main reason I wanted to make a video on this was the finale. I, obviously briefly touched upon most of the season right there. I just said my highlights of what I thought was really solid, but I want to really talk about the final episode and also going forward. I do love that they actually acknowledged that the Dark Troopers had different models, and that was where the Gen 3 version, the one that had no people inside of them, I thought that was kind of cool. I do love that they showed Mando hardcore struggling against the Dark Troopers, and then later on when it's shown this person destroying the Dark Troopers, it's like, oh, they are making quick work of those things, and Mando would just struggle just to kill one. It's like, oh dang, they're on a freaking next level, man. We'll go back to that in a second, but I kind of love that Moff Gideon kind of at first, when he's interacting with Mando, oh yeah, just take the kid, I got what I want out of him. We had success with our tests. I wonder what those successes were. I was like, there's no way this is that easy. There's no way that he just gets the kid that easy. Moff Gideon freaking double crosses him, hits him with the Darksaber. I saw like a theory that the Darksaber might actually be like hotter or more powerful than a lightsaber. Because if you go back to the episode with Ahsoka, she's fighting the magistrate and also Mando. And when she hits her saber against their Beskar, it does not turn orange or, starts to glow or anything. Now, when Mando is fighting Moff Gideon, when the Darksaber hits his Beskar, it starts to glow or like melt. So I wonder if he actually really held the Darksaber against his Beskar, if it would actually melt it eventually. So that's why people were theorizing that the Darksaber might actually be stronger than lightsabers. So I kind of love that Moff Gideon kind of like intentionally lost just to put Mando up against Bo-Katan. Which, by the way, Bo-Katan, she took the Darksaber from Sabine without fighting her in Rebels. So it's like, why can't you just take it now? He doesn't want the Darksaber, Mando. Which I didn't think Mando would have the Darksaber, which he is the king of Mandalore now. Very nice. Now, I feel as though I am the one crazy person on the internet. I like that Luke shows up in this final episode. I think it's very cool that we have a de-aged Mark Hamill. It was very cool how they were very mysterious on him, and I'm like, oh dude, they're not playing the Luke theme. I guess they wanted to keep it a secret, but that was very cool that they did it. And I like that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, I like how they're kind of retconning things with like Rey and stuff. With Luke saying the line, he's strong in the Force. Talent without training is nothing. I like the context, that you have to put the context clues together to form that it is Luke. I was more or less more invested in Mando's and Baby Grogu, their story. And I honestly didn't entirely care about the Luke thing. I was more or less like, just stay with the kid, man. The main scene, I'm very conflicted on this, on what I feel about it. Even I don't know if I entirely like it. I don't know if I entirely hate it. But, the scene with Baby or Grogu, I still want to say Baby Yoda, Grogu and Mando, where he's just holding him and then he puts the hand on his helmet and he takes the helmet off, is one of the most freaking heartwarming moments in Star Wars, man. Like, I genuinely was sad and almost cried on it. I'm not gonna freaking lie about it. Like, it is like genuinely sad. Like, these two are like father son this whole freaking ride. My main thing is like, Mando, just be a good dad, man. Just say like, I'll take along with him, we can train together. I'll train him some of my Mando ways, you train him some of your Jedi ways. I'm sure they will eventually meet again because money. Disney wants those two together again. I don't know if I entirely like him sending him off because he puts so much on the line to save this kid, and you just so easily toss him out. I was still more invested in their story than Luke showing up. I still find it very cool. I was very excited. I was like, oh dang, freaking Luke showing up. Oh my goodness. But I don't think I was on that same level as many other people. I was more or less like, don't leave. No, baby, don't leave, Mando. No. So I left the episode kind of sad. And that basically concludes season, well, besides the Boba end credit scene, which he is Boba the Hutt now. Very nice. I'm very excited to see that. So let's talk about stuff that's going to happen in the future or the Boba Fett spinoff. I guess since I was already on Boba, in the Boba spinoff, I'm wondering if we're going to see him getting out of the Sarlacc, maybe leading up, because it would be about 5 years until he was into the Mandalorian. So I wonder if we're going to see him get out and then go all the way to Mandalorian, and then pick up where he is, Boba the Hutt, and then starting to run a crime syndicate. Who knows, man? I kind of find it poetic that he goes back to the place where he quote-unquote died. So we kind of talked about Boba a tad bit. So let's go on to Mando Season 3. So we have a few plot threads that are yet to be solved. First one, since Bo-Katan seems like she doesn't want to actually take the Darksaber, which I don't get why he couldn't just leave it there and be like, oh, it just got left there. It'd be a shame if someone picked it up. You know, someone that wanted to be Queen of Mandalore. Huh. Well, bye-bye. You know, like, come on, dude, just pick up the saber. No one has to know. I guess since she doesn't want to do that, going into season 3, we probably are going to have a Bo-Katan versus Mando. I don't think Mando entirely cares, so he probably will intentionally throw the fight if he is fighting her, but who knows? Who knows? He could honestly change his mind to where he maybe wants to be King of Mandalore, which I really doubt he does. He doesn't even really entirely know about Mandalore. So, you know, he was pretty naive to a lot of the stuff, including like people's creeds and stuff. So I think he would probably throw a fight with Bo-Katan to just give her the saber because he doesn't care. Now, going on to the fact that he is King of Mandalore, Din Djarin, this kind of helps in stuff that he did. By the end of season 2, he 100% broke his creed, his Mandalorian creed. But since he's technically King of Mandalore, could he like rule that he didn't break his creed? Like oh yep, me as King of Mandalore, you know, I didn't break no creeds. I have the sword. You can't challenge me. Yes, I'm actually more or less fine that Grogu made him break his creed. Because it was almost out of, like, love that he broke it. It was kind of poetic that he broke it. It was almost like he saw the young version kind of himself or something. I don't know. He just wanted to protect the kid, man. At the end of the day, it was, like, love and freaking protecting the kid, which made him take the helmet off. Totally fine with it. You know, the episode 4, the final one, the believer, you see him take it off and he looks really awkward, but then when you see him take it off and then like he's actually like crying, it's like, oh dude, that gets you in the feels. Ooh, you know. Now going into season 3, since he technically broke his creed, would he continue to be like, oh, I guess this helmet thing doesn't matter anymore, and would he have to face the armorer to say he broke the creed? I'd say yes, and I'd say he's fine with it probably at this point, because he did what he had to do, and I think at the end of the day, that's what he felt was right. So, going to Grogu now. Would in Mando season 3 we get scenes with Grogu training with Luke? I'm gonna say yes. I feel like we would. And then you get into other questions. Does Luke have Jedi temples right now? This is going to be a maybe. I'm probably going to say yes. I heard he could be on Yavin 4 very well. But if you look at the quote-unquote timeline, he doesn't start making his Jedi temples until 5 years from Mandalorian Season 2. So he's pretty early. And then you also get into questions of where is Grogu in the sequels? You know, did Kylo Ren kill him? You know, what happened to him at the end of the day? And especially if he's incredibly powerful in the Force, that Grogu might, you know, start training with Luke. But then he might almost pull a Luke with Luke on Dagobah with Yoda, to where he might get like a Force vision to where he sees like Mando or something in trouble. And he like abruptly leaves Luke to go try and save Mando. And it's like an Empire Strikes Back situation where he wasn't ready and he preemptively left. And if he didn't leave, it would have been fine, you know? That could very well happen. Now, you know, of course, Mando doesn't know where Luke is going. But I think in some way, some form, somehow, they will be reunited, the two. And they will be Mando and Mandolorian again. Now, the final little thing we got is Moff Gideon. Will he be arrested with the New Republic? I'm going to say yes. Honestly, Bo-Katan has no reason to go after Gideon anymore. She has his ship. She would have had the Darksaber, but we already went over that. And then the final thing is, what was Gideon saying the success was? Because he already had the kid's blood and they had a success. I'm going to say it is clones with some force abilities or something. They actually maybe got one that lived and worked out fine. Who knows? He could have been lying. It was all a setup for him, and I do love that he was freaked out by Luke. So, that's just some things going over season 3 of Mandalorian. Just talking about everything. I love it still. It's still one of my favorite Star Wars things of all time. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. I know this isn't what I usually cover, but I cover literally everything. So yeah, have a nice day. And this is Trigo signing out.